Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another Mario Baseball video. Today I'm going to be making my Season 2 tier list. Coke's asked some of the players to make a tier list so we can combine them all into a community list. And yeah, we're going to get right into it. So, I have put the stats there on the screen on the left side so people can know where I'm sort of coming from my own experience with certain characters and stuff like that. But yeah, this is kind of a combination end of Season 2, very beginning of Season 3 where I think all the characters fall. So we're going to start off Bowser number 1. It's not dragging. There we go. Obviously, no questions there. Number 2, we're gonna go Petey. Just such a home run threat. Has incredible chem tree, Birdo and DK, so you can get double chem on. You can smack home runs even without the chem. You have the chem in the infield if you can play Petey at first base. Just a lot of options there. Number 3, you gotta go DK. Strong middle infield, basically can play any position on the field above average, but extremely good in the middle infield. And yeah, can pretty much do it all: slap, start hit, or charge hit. It's just a versatile player in every regard, I'd say. Number 4 here, toss up between Yoshi or Hammer Bro, but I'm gonna go with Hammer Bro. And it's because he can hit home runs, and that is the dominant force in this game. It doesn't matter if Yoshi's such a defensive threat to stop slap hits or whatever. You need some home run power, so that's why I keep Yoshi there. Hammer Bro there at the 4 spot, but then obviously follow it up with Yoshi, the strongest defender in the game. It's not even close, and above average bat for me. He's one of my top batters, as you can see right here. 489, one of the best bats I have on the team. So at really good offensive threat as well, but just so dominant on defense. Plays left field incredibly well. Can be used to defend against Birdo eggs in the middle infield, and just generally in the middle infield can take away some pretty nice hits that should be landing against other fielders. So with that, we're gonna go with Birdo. Here for the 6th spot, it's really a toss-up for a lot of people between Boo and Birdo. For me, what differentiates Birdo is that the star hit. I'm not very good with Boo, so on offense, you can see 357, below average there with 78 CO OPS. I'm not good with Boo. So for me, it makes sense that Birdo is going to be above Boo. I feel like even for people that are good with Boo, Birdo brings a little bit more. Very strong defender, very strong middle infielder. Slap hit's terrible, but you got that star hit, and you can get Birdo as captain. It's gonna be a dangerous threat for your opponent to have to deal with. So I think Birdo can definitely deserves the 6th spot here over Boo. But yeah, clearly Boo's next. Best pitcher, I think it's the best pitcher in the game in my opinion. I pitched the best, lowest ERA with Boo, but again, like I said, I'm not the greatest with Boo slap hits. It's something I need to work on because when you're drafting someone this early, you really want them to be able to get on base and slap hit. But I need to figure it out because there are people who are way better with Boo than me, and it's such a hassle having to pitch to a good Boo as a defender. You can get those balls that land right there on the foul line that go for doubles, drive in a bunch of RBIs. So Boo is someone I need to learn more about, but also clearly up there as a top player, top character in this game. And then next, it's going to be King Boo. We have the magical catch with Magikoopa here, who's making a little bit rise up. Some people are saying Madge is better than King Boo, but it's not for me. Madge is my best hitter. That's a lot of stars we use, but we're batting 714 with Madge, way above average. But King Boo just has such an offensive threat with the home run power. You can get King Boo a little bit later in the draft, and you can get Chem with Boo with this 1-2-1 draft. So it just makes sense for me to put King Boo here. I've gone to the lab a little bit. I've been doing a lot better recently with King Boo. Let me look at my numbers right now. 464. That's really high. I know 27 plate appearances, 227 COPS. That's right there up there with the highest efficiencies for King Boo. Right there with Magikoopa as well. So very, very comparable for me at least on how efficient I am with these characters. So the home run threat is just too great to avoid. You don't need to be using stars with King Boo, and great corner baseman as well. I prefer Madge on the corner bases over King Boo, but King Boo's right there up there as well. And then last, rounding out S tier, we're going to do Magikoopa up here. Star hit, incredible. Long bat, can reach way off the plate and get to some way out pitches that are way out there, which makes Madge one of the hardest players to pitch to in the game. You can see he's batting 714. That is incredible. The slap hit's decent. It's not the best in the game, but if you can get start hitting like you can with Waluigi, you can get a lot of slap hits with Magikoopa as well. Walu and Madge have very similar plate. The way you should approach the batters at the plate. They bat very similarly, and so because of that, rising up, getting good with Magikoopa also benefits getting good with Waluigi. So that's my current S tier. We got a clear top 9 characters, and Yoshi, kind of an X factor. I could definitely see moving Yoshi around in the future, but for me currently, I know I do Yoshi second or Yoshi second/third in the 1-2-1 draft, but I really feel like that comes down to draft lines and making sure you don't you want to force your opponent into giving you DK later instead of allowing you to pick DK early and then getting Yoshi picked against DK, because Yoshi's a great counter to DK, and so moving Yoshi up to the 2-3 spot allows you to get DK a little bit later in the draft in a lot of cases. So that's something that we've seen with the draft lines. You know, back in the Nolan draft, the 1-2-2 draft, Yoshi was still going 4-5 pretty much every game. And that's because players didn't feel like letting DK fall that far. So I think this is how I'm going to keep it for now. Maybe in the future we'll see how Yoshi can move up or down. But for me, this is pretty set where I'm currently at. So then moving on to A tier, I think the 10th best character in the game for me, Waluigi. You saw him rise up recently within the last 2 months, and then look at this, batting 500 Waluigi. That's no stars. That's one of my most efficient hitters here. And, I mean, I've just gotten down the slap. You get the left input, and you aim for the later frames in the count to push the ball, and you're able to get it through the middle infield there. And I feel like I've really gotten a good feel for how to do that properly. So, corner baseman, incredible. Great defensive value, and then if you can hit with Waluigi, there's no reason to let him go to the opponent if you don't want to draft him. I mean, there's no reason to let him go to the opponent since you can draft him here and provide such great value. So for me, that's why he's at 10. And then number 11 here, going Toadsworth. Toadsworth is he's been a consistent middle of the road pick. 11 to 15 this whole time that I've been in the Mario Baseball community. But most recently, he's risen up a lot because you need those consistent slap hitters, people who can get on base, and he has the long bat reach as well. So you can see here, we got these 3 characters here, all with long bat reaches. And that has become critical for me in my success recently, is being able to hit balls that are a little bit off the plate, not being able to fool by those outside balls. And that's going to continue in, because we're putting Luigi here at number 12 it is, yeah. Because of that bat, I've finally decided Luigi is the better Mario Bro in this game. You know, they have very similar stats almost all the way across the board. Luigi's a little faster. He has super jump. Mario has sliding catch. Those two are a little bit different. And then the only other major difference is the star hit. And for me, the Mario Fireball kind of sucks. I can never get it to land. No matter where I hit it, you don't really... Slicing it is... all right. I mean, slicing is always good, but you miss that and you hit a frame 3 slice, it's most likely going foul or hitting the first baseman. Frame 4s a lot of times can get caught by the second baseman. So for me, I haven't had a lot of success with that Mario Fireball, and for that reason, I'm going to put Luigi above Mario in my tier list until something changes in Mario. But then after that, going to Mario. You can see here, Mario bats 422, Luigi bats 426. So they're very good on the slap category, but that bat reach causes me to strike out a little bit more with Mario when you're playing someone who likes to work that outside pitch. And so it's a little bit more of a struggle to get on base with Mario, in my opinion. And because of that, I have to put him down there. After that, we're going Wario. Wario above PM has finally happened, and it's because Wario Chem with Boo and Waluigi is so strong, you really can't afford to let your opponent get double Chem, because the stats have it that Wario with double Chem hits a home run percentage about the same as Hammer Bro when they make contact with the ball. Which means you're basically adding another heavy to your lineup that your opponent can't have, because if you have Boo Waluigi, Your opponent taking Wario, they don't have the home run threat that you do if you do take Wario. So from that, and he's great in the field, and his slap hit's been landing a little bit more for me. 257, not very good, but you can get better. I'm going to be working with Wario to make sure I get a little bit better there. And then following it up, we got PM. I've been moving into lefty PM. There's no real reason for me to go righty PM unless you're on the Bowser team and you need a star hitter, because that star hit is incredible. But you can't afford to use it every time in most cases unless you're severely lacking in star hitters on your team. So for that, righty PM, other than the star hit, is pretty bad. I'm not scared of a righty PM whenever I see come to the plate, unless I'm expecting a star usage. And also, we've seen fielder swaps with Yoshi or Birdo to try and counter the PM Falcon pop, so we've seen that not work as much as it used to, but I mean, it's still an incredible star hit, but just not good enough for me to consider using righty PM. So we've gone back to lefty PM, and let's look here. How do we do? There it is, Pianta, 243. Not very good, but you have that. That's really bad. We have the star. I mean, we have the chem link with Noki, and you do have the power threat. It's not as big of a threat in my opinion as Wario, but it's still there, and you can get some low traj singles as well. So I think that's gonna round out the A tier. Now moving down to B tier. This is probably controversial, but I'm gonna still put Diddy above Dixie. And for me, it's because I've had way more success pitching Diddy recently than I have Dixie. I feel like it's not something I need to learn. You can see I don't have that much experience. I feel like I pitched Diddy or maybe 2 or 3 games. For only 4 plate appearances, so maybe not even that many. But I feel like I've had way more success pitching Diddy. My Dixie, I mean, obviously batting 0 with Diddy, but that's only in 4 plate appearances. But my Dixie's not batting very good at all. So, yeah, I haven't seen too much of a reason to switch to Dixie at this point. But obviously they're very close, and it really comes down to preference in this sort of spot here. This is where, in the tier list, everyone starts to differ because... oh, wait. I forgot Paratroopa. Paratroopa is one of the best players, one of the most underrated players. We're putting Paratroopa up here in A tier. Look at this. 613 with Paratroopa. That is incredible. Very close, not very close, but my second closest player to Madge with a decent amount of plate appearances. And because of that star hit, the bat reach, you can make just so many you can drive in so many RBIs with that bat and with that star. And in the field, outfield, corner bases, pretty much catcher too. Pretty much anywhere on the field you can think of, Paratroopa can fill that role. So very versatile player, and someone you can pick up mid to late in the draft and still get great value out of. So that's why I have Paratroopa up there. What puts the Monkeys down here for me is that there's 2 of them, and they can be replaced either one. For me, there's not too much of a difference between the 2. I mean, I'm pitching a little better currently with Diddy, I feel like, so maybe in the future I'll move to a Dixie if I can pitch better, but there's 2 of them. Your opponent can't take both of them and take Boo and screw you out of a pitcher, really, unless they're going to sacrifice their offense, because most people aren't batting very well with these 2 characters. So for that reason, I put them down below a lot of characters that you might consider them better than, because these 2 characters get a ton of appearances in game, but the fact that there's 2 of them and they're very, very interchangeable makes them lose value for me. So then after that, this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to go Green Noki. I'm not the biggest Green Noki fan. The bat, I think, is a little short. I'm not very good with it. Let's see what the stats say. Noki. Why can't I see it? There we go. 500. 14 plate appearances. That's actually really good. So yeah, that's why Noki's there. I feel like I just need to get a little bit more comfortable with the slap hit, and then maybe Noki can move up here. We have the chem with Pianta, which is pretty critical to get those PM home runs. And yeah, can play the outfield great. Maybe can play a catcher in a tight situation. But yeah, the star hit, those star hits are becoming so valuable when you're on the Bowser team, because a lot of times you might end up with Birdo and you can't be using 2-star eggs in many situations with nobody on base. So you might be relying on these 1-star hitters to drive in some runs. So that's where the Noki placement comes in. And then after that, I really don't have too much of an opinion on where these characters end up, because I'm pretty much never drafting them. So I know people like Daisy. I'm not a big Daisy fan. I've seen Toadette. I'm not a great Toadette fan. I think, honestly, I like Shy Guy. You can see I played him once, batted 750 with him, and that was without the Falcon Pop. That was lefty Shy Guy. I didn't even have the Falcon Pop option. I forgot to change it. But I feel like the slap hit's good. He doesn't really have a spot on the field. I'm pretty much never drafting Shy Guy, but I don't think I can put him this high. We're going to go Toadette's in the mix as well. These are still characters that I would expect to see in meta games. Dry Bones and Bowser Jr. up here as well. These 4 characters for me, you can pick them. I'm most likely not going to be picking them. I think we got to go Toadette. I think Toadette's more pickable than Shy Guy. Bowser Jr. I just cannot hit the ball with at all. I don't know if I even have a Bowser Jr. plate appearance. And then Dry Bones just not really a good spot on the field. He does have sliding catch, but after that, there's pretty much nothing to write home about. He has the star hit, but bat reach is very short. So after that, C tier down here we go Peach, Daisy, not Peach, Daisy, Peach, Goomba. I feel like way underrate Goomba's bat. Not that he's good, but like he's better than some people say. It's one of the better bats. In the ranked data I pulled, he was slapping about as well as the average Yoshi, while some of these characters are way below that. So Goomba's got to be more pickable. He has that ball dash ability. You can probably his only position on the field is first base. He has like a weird glitch jump. I don't know if it's actually beneficial to have that, but he does have that, and he has the ball dash, which will win you some rundowns. So I feel like that's Goomba's only position on the field you can reasonably play him at. After that, we have Koopa here, Greg/Ronald. I haven't used Koopa really at all. I hear Slap can be good, but just not a lot of data for me. That's the same with all these characters. I haven't used them too much. I'm really going off of what I've heard from other people and my very limited experience with them. After that, Baby Mario. His bat's better than Baby Luigi. Stats show that. So, yeah, he can be up there. And then this bottom tier is characters that I really think you should pretty much never pick. Starting off with, I think, I guess Paragoomba? I don't know. Monty, Toad, and then, you know what? Toad has a good slap. Toad doesn't have anywhere to play on the field, but at least Toad has a good slap. Out of all these characters, I'd like Toad the most. I always played Toad growing up, so the slap hits, it's really good, but bat's incredibly short. So it's hard to get those hits. And then, Red Toad's bat is the only usable Toad by far. The others are way shorter. I think they're the shortest in the game. Then Paragoomba, Monty Slap, his bat's long, but it's just kind of there. And then Baby L, as I call him, my new nickname. He's just so bad. No. He's statistically worse than Baby Mario, and pretty much on the bat side. His bat is just not good. They suck in the outfield because their hitboxes are so small. But other than that, I think that wraps this up. You know, these last, like I said, once we get past Noki, I really don't end up picking pretty much any of these characters. I picked Shy Guy maybe like once, I think. But other than that, I don't see too many I accidentally picked Red Paratroopa once. That was a big mistake. But I don't see too many other things that are sticking out to me, too many characters that I'd ever end up picking. So I really feel like after this, I don't really care about a tier list once you get past this point right here. So yeah, as you can see, this is my tier list I'm going to end up with. I think the most controversial aspects of this are Luigi over Mario. Paratroopa might be a little high for some people, but I think the stats back it up pretty well, whatever we were at. DK batting 686, I didn't even notice that till now. That's insane. That's why he's up there. That is so good, and that's mostly with Slap. You know, a little banana here and there. I'm not charging with DK at the moment. I would like to get better with DK charge, but it's kind of difficult with that only one frame window where you're at 100% charge. Seems a little inconsistent for me, at least at the moment. And then yeah, this is how I end up with my tier list. No one in E tier. There's no reason to differentiate any of these tiers further, I don't feel like. And I guess maybe people would be like, maybe Diddy and Dixie should be up here in A tier because one of them is going to see pretty much every game. Yeah, I mean, at some point the tiers start, the the tier, like the people in the tier don't really matter. It's more the order, so people can break those up however they want. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end up with as my tier list. I'm going to submit to the community tier list which Cokes is making. So thank you to Cokes for asking me to make one, and yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more Mario Baseball content coming soon.